Hello everyone, apa khabar? In this video, we want to look at the suffix kan, which is commonly used in Malay conversations. So if you hear a local speaking, you would probably hear a lot of kan at the end of words, especially at the end of verbs. And the addition of the suffix kan has probably several applications to it. So we want to look at them one by one. So as mentioned, the suffix is added at the end of verbs. So the first usage of the suffix can is actually in a form of request. So if we do not add the suffix at the end of the verb, it implies that it is an instruction. So let's look at examples. The word cuci, for example, which means to wash. So if you tell someone, cuci semua cawan tu, so that's a form of instruction. You're instructing the other person to wash all those cups. But if you add kan at the back of cuci, the tone of the sentence becomes a polite request as opposed to being an instruction. So the sentence cucikan semua cawan tu. So it's like a request. Um, wash all those cups for me, or wash all those cups on my behalf. So with the addition of kan, the sentence conveys a slight politeness as compared to without the kan. Another example, letak kunci ni atas meja. Letak kunci ni atas meja. So that's a form of instruction. So you are instructing someone to put this key on the table. So in comparison, if you have the suffix kan at the end of letak, letakkan kunci ni atas meja. Letakkan kunci ni atas meja. So essentially it's asking someone, can you put this key on the table for me or on my behalf? So that's the tone of the sentence. So how do you say the sentence? Keep this book in your bag for me. So to keep in Malay is simpan. A book is buku. So if you're requesting someone to keep the book on your behalf, the full sentence is simpankan buku ni dalam beg awak untuk saya. Or you can leave untuk saya at the back because it implies that you're asking someone to keep the book on your behalf. The second usage of the suffix kan is to imply an action that is being done onto something else, onto another person or another thing or a different noun. So this is especially used for intransitive verbs, verbs like sit or sleep or stand. So if we have the phrase dia duduk, it means that he or she sits. But if it's dia dudukkan something, it means that he or she makes something to sit somewhere. For example, the sentence dia duduk dekat atas lantai. Dia duduk dekat atas lantai. So it means she sits on the floor. But if you have the suffix kan at the end of duduk, dia dudukkan anjing dia ke atas kerusi. Dia dudukkan anjing dia dekat atas kerusi. So it means she sits her dog on the chair. So the action is being put on the dog. Another example is the phrase saya tidur. It means that I sleep or I go to sleep. But if it's saya tidurkan, if there's a kan at the back of tidur, it's putting someone to sleep. So for example, semalam saya tidur pukul 11. Semalam saya tidur pukul 11. So it means last night or yesterday I slept at 11 o'clock. But if it's this sentence, semalam saya tidurkan anak saya. Semalam saya tidurkan anak saya. So it means yesterday I put my daughter to sleep. So in this case, it can be my daughter or my son. So the action is being put onto something else or someone else. So the next example is the phrase dia pusing. So this means he or she turns. So if you have a sentence like dia pusing ke tepi, means that he turns to the side. So that person, he himself turns his whole body to the side, as opposed to the next sentence, dia pusingkan kepala dia ke tepi. So this means he turns his head to the side. So the action is only being put on his head, not he himself, the whole body. Okay? So how do you say the sentence? He bathes his cat every month. So to bathe something is to, in Malay, it's mandi. A cat is kucing. So the full sentence is, dia mandikan kucing dia tiap bulan. Dia mandikan kucing dia tiap-tiap bulan. So without the kan at the end of mandi, it's to shower or to bathe himself. So if you have a sentence like dia mandi tiap-tiap bulan, means that he showers every month. So there's a difference between whether the action is on the person or onto another person or thing. At times also the addition of kan at the back of a verb changes the meaning of the word itself. For example, the verb jalan is to walk, but jalankan is to carry out or to perform in terms of a duty or a task. Um, mati is to die, but matikan is to turn off something, to turn off a light switch or to turn out a fire. Another example is bangun, which is to get up or to stand, but bangunkan or membangunkan is actually to develop. So these are just some of the examples. So if you see the suffix kan at the end of a verb, just find out what it means and what the usage is for. Okay? Alright then, if you have any questions in regard to any of our videos, please drop us a comment.